All right, welcome. Got an unboxing here. Just got a box in the mail from Blue Panther LLC, which ultimately I know is from White Dog Games. Also, bear with me. I'm using a new kind of recording method here, using a different device here. Before I was using my phone. Now I'm using basically it's a document reader, but it's kind of forms an L, and then you can put books under it, and it can scan pages, whatever. But also work for unboxings. But I'm stuck using their software for the display because they don't have an OBS feed. So you do see the bar on the right here just showing different things you can do with the picture. So here's my Yeti for the unboxing. And we're off to the races. I already cut the sides of the boxes. Didn't hurt myself this time, so didn't want to get that on video. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got. Once the tape's gone, it's easy. Oh, there we go. See, we got one game here, Mogadishu, 1993. And the other thing I got is Iron and Blood. I can't pronounce this. Koniggratz. The Battle of Koniggratz. From, of course, I'm forgetting the Franco-Prussian War here. So, disclaimer, I get these games as kind of as payment. I've already made vassal mods for both of these. For White Dog, I make a lot of vassal mods for them, so agreement is they send me a copy of the game, so that kind of works out. This one feels pretty thick. So let's, I know there's been reviews online for MOG, so I'll save that for a second. Let's look at Iron and Blood, Battle of Koniggratz, 1866. Now let me take it out of the bag here. There goes MOG. So opening this up, taking it out. Oh, there's something thick in here. I think they gave me the special thing I asked for. Put this off to the side. Or maybe not. Because there's cards. That's what it is. There are cards for this game. Okay. Looks like event cards, Prussians, Austrians, and there is a second army on the Prussian side that has a randomized arrival. So that's what's going on there. So let's see what we got. We got a set of rules. We got some command point tracks. Yep. So it looks like going to be paying command points to activate units. Formations. It looks like you're activating formations and burning tracks, burning points. Looks like we got the same for the Prussians, so my guess is cut here. Maybe. Okay, so there's that. Got a player aid card here. Okay, so you give your units orders, it looks like. And then movement. Looks like the movement factor is not printed on the counter, so we've got them here. And here's your movement costs. Okay, I don't know if this is in lieu of a terrain effects chart. We'll see that in a second. Austrian fire combat results table. Fire ranges, so this seems somewhat tactical. Column shifts, etc. So this is for the Austrians. Oh, and an assault combat. Okay, so it's a whole different chart. For assault combat, gives modifiers, etc. Good stuff. And it looks like we got the same thing, a Prussian player aid card, orders and movement. And then this is new, the Prussian Second Army. If I understand the battle right, it was tight, but then the Prussian Second Army arrived and then it was over. I think the Austrians attacked first. Don't quote me on that. But then this is with variable arrival here. And there's their arrival schedule. So, oh wow. Game setup and all the places. And event cards, explanations. I think I may have missed that. Austrians. So this seems a bit, yep, there it is. Austrian setup and their event card nodes. When you pull it, it's explaining what happens. Generals, hunger and fatigue, etc. General Helmuth von Moltke. Yep, he's the one who won it all. Okay. So we got, each one's got a player aid card. It looks like I have a assault and fire combat for these. Oh, here we go. Okay, and here's the Prussian fire combat results table. And then their assault combat results table. So that got everything for that. Then it looks like we've got a single sequence of play card. Advanced game turn maker, determine how many command points, and they tell you how many, and then events, 3 events, 2 events for them. Then we determine initiative, event cards, and then it's activated formation, fire, movement, assault, rally, reset. And my guess is you keep rinsing and repeating for that. Then at the end term, Second Army arrival step. I guess this is where you determine when the Prussian Second Army arrives. Movement stacking. Give you some rules here. Cavalry charge. Yep. Pushback result, shaken result. Okay, looks like CRT explanations. Disrupted, broken. How to retreat and do panic tests. Yeah, that works. And then finally rally. Okay. Nothing on the back. So this is both the sequence of play and combat, and I think some movement here too. So this is another handy player aid chart. So yeah, each one gets their combat player aid chart and then gets this player aid for their side. Yep. And then a common one here. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and look at the map. I am not, not a very big map, to be honest. Yeah, not too big a footprint either. So it could be, it's relatively playable. I think I've done the setup file in Vassal, and I'll pull that up later so you can see what the game looks like there. There's Koniggratz way down here in the corner. Koniggratz. Oh. Wow, you still can't see it. Koniggratz. There it is. Maybe that's the goal here. The Austrians, I think, are coming from here and going here. We'll pull that up. July 3rd, 1866. Victory points on the side, game turn track. Oh yeah, they explained the victory points here. That's handy. Game turn track. They give you the time. Each turn seems to be 1 hour. 14, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Game ends at 7 o'clock. So it looks like a one-day battle. Not laminated, so this is just plain paper, which is fine. Yeah, it's not too big a footprint. So let's look at the counter sheet. Looks like one counter sheet. Not too thin. This is an interesting, I don't know how to describe this. These are pure square counters. Don't feel like punching them out right now, but yeah, they feel like they'll come out easy. And then we got a bunch of admin markers up here, shaken. Command points, got some army, corps. Looks like activation by corps. Then you got 2 different armies. Well, the Austrians just have the northern army from what I can see, but the Prussians start out with the first army and then potentially the second army can show up. And we do see color-coded by corps. See that here. And then we do have, of course, artillery, cavalry, looks like light cavalry. Probably going to have heavy cavalry somewhere. And then we have regular form of infantry here. Okay. And the flip side. Looks like some units, but not all units, have a reduced strength and disrupted. Okay, so more admin counters. Basically, one side is disrupted and one side is shaken. And yeah, interesting feel here on these. Let's take a look at the rules. They're not, well, it says 12 pages, but this is something I've seen before. The print is very small, so they kind of pack it in. That's probably why I'd use the electronic version or scan this so I can increase the size. Approximately 1,000 yards. Each infantry strength point is 1,000 men. Each cavalry strength point is 500. Each artillery strength point. It's a combination of number of guns and how heavy the gun is. And let's see, the counters have unit ID. We talked about the cores. Stacking points, red dots. That's the number of stacking points. Special unit code. Don't see that. TE rating, yellow number and black sir represents training and experience. That's pretty much how experienced it is, assuming high is better than low. Strength point value, bottom left. Total number of soldiers, troops, infantry, and there it is, artillery. So that's the strength point. Jaegers have a green box. Cavalry have a white box. Okay, we got artillery strength points. Looks like you got a flip side. Stacking goes down. Training and efficiency goes down when they take losses. Fresh and, oh, that's battle worn. Okay, that's not reduced. Back counters the unit's reduced strength, battle worn side. Has a stripe across the bottom. Units that are on their battle worn have suffered severe casualties, decline in morale. Some smaller units don't have a battle worn sign. They're just eliminated. Shaken, disrupted. Let's see what else we got here. It doesn't feel like a lot of pages, but it is packed in here. I'll kind of go through player aids, the map, examples of different types of terrain, and then example hex. Sequence of play again here. They explain the cards, event and entry cards. Okay. Game turn marker phase. Okay, command point phase. They explain that. How many CPs a unit side gets. Draw event cards phase. Let me do something here. Bear with me. That's pretty drastic. Okay, that's just moving it down a little. Maybe you can get a better view of that. Or maybe not. Here's initiative. 1 CP, burn a CP to increase your initiative roll, initiative die roll, initiative player, first formation active. If you score by a lot, you get 2 formations. Okay. Equal, it's a lull or the rain. Interesting. Okay. Formation activation, normally only 1 formation. If you got the initiative, you can get 2, you can do that. And let's see, formation activation markers. And then they give special rules here on the formation markers. Austrian Reserve. Upon activation, the chosen formation must be assigned in order. That's good. So you're not doing it ahead of time and hiding it. So it's kind of a little worried it was solo play would prevent that. You can march, quick. You can engage, move normally, maneuver normally, and engage. You can assault, and if you do that, reduce your movement by 1. And you can regroup. So when you activate, you got to pick one of these. And then you do the fire combat, eligibility, types of fire, artillery fire and regular fire. Range infantry can only fire 1 hex. Artillery fire has effective, long, extended, depending, I think, on the artillery type. Calculate, etc. Then we do line of sight. Must have a clear line of sight. And then they give rules for high and lower. And then fire combat resolution. You got the CRTs, which look pretty detailed. Ooh, more rules. Long range, extended range, higher, lower. Target unit and cover. Higher TE rating. Final FC CRT. And it looks like it's a D66. And if you get doubles, you get a better result. And then here's the different results. Shaken, disrupted, broken, pushed back. I guess that's the way of saying retreat. Firefight, and that looks like just engaged. Movement restrictions, and there's some kind of spontaneous fire. Then we got the movement step. Unit may always move at least 1 hex. Good to know. Movement allowances, they list them here again. Movement allowance costs, they talk about it. I think we had that on the player aid card. Stacking limit, artillery battery, interdiction, Prussian Auftragstaktik. Normally if you fired you can't move, but apparently... Oh, can't move during some... I'll have to look at that. Special. I thought it was a special thing the Prussians could... They learned how to move and fire. Assault moving. Units assaulting must do a test before they can actually assault. That pretty much sounds fire. Ooh, artillery, canister fire. Oops. That'll slow you down. Tactic. More additional comment. And then how you do assault combat. There's a lot of stuff there with assault. Retreat moves in panic. When called to retreat, increase their distance, and then I guess there's a chance for panic. And then we got rally, HQ markers, and then here's the Prussian Second Army, the great drama. Hanging over the Battle of Koniggratz was whether the Prussian Second Army approaching from the north would get to the battlefield in time to outflank the Austrian North Army. Wow, kind of like the Prussians at Waterloo. Rainy conditions, lack of community, so you have an arrival card draw. Arrival number. Austrian player may play an eligible event card that could affect this card draw. Wow. And then the second army arrives. So the Austrians want to put that off. Victory points, that works. Green circle, this was kind of on the map. And then you got variants. Dominant initiative, and get 10 command points on game turn 1. Okay. Austrian player removes a reserve marker, and the units from their 4 reserve formations cannot activate but may be used for event card. Okay. And Prussian Second Army historical arrival. Historical time, ignore the card, don't worry about it. Of course, then the Austrian can anticipate it. And then we have a designer's notes. Yeah, so this looks like somewhat tactical recreation of the 1866 battle between Austria and Prussia at Koniggratz. So, and player aid cards, pretty straightforward. And yeah, the one thing I will draw, the counters are good. It's a paper map, but a small footprint, which some people may appreciate. I'm in the middle of playing with tweaking a vassal mod for decision games war in Europe, and that's not small footprint. This is kind of handy. Yeah. Okay. All right, and then we got the cards and the event cards, and I think we saw them on the player aids. I'm going to keep this sealed for now. I will look at one thing. I'll show you briefly the vassal mod here. Okay, here is the vassal mod that I made earlier. And it looks like the Prussians are coming from over here. And here are the Austrians defending, looks like the river line. And we'll zoom in, you can see what these, there we go. So that does give you an idea of the form of the battle. And if you look closely, it looks like all the victory point hexes are on this side of the river, or on the edge of it. So attack lies with the Prussians to get to these VP hexes. I think I got the second army over here, yeah. Guessing that's the second army. And you can now see the, let's see, Prussian cards. We do see event cards. And obviously I need to update this with the final graphics here. That's going to be fine. And the second army arrival cards, yeah, they just give a number. And then the Austrian cards, they just have event cards. There you go. And this explains what to do. So, yeah, and then game turn marker, command points. And let's see if I translated the charts. Yep, here are the charts. I may redo these based on what I just received in the mail. So we'll look at that. So yeah, it looks like a straightforward hex encounter, Franco-Prussian, or not Franco-Prussian, why am I saying that? Austrian-Prussian. This is the before the Franco-Prussian War. We had the Austrian-Prussian War, and of course the Prussians won, and this was the key battle. So, and yeah, somewhat tactical. So, take a look at this on the White Dog Games site. Looks pretty good. And I'll go ahead and end it here. If you like this, click like. Comments appreciated. Let's see what's behind this. Yeah, we still got this, so you did get to see the cards. And yeah, I think I may scan these cards, update things, and I may scan the player aid cards here and update those in the Vassal mod. Yeah, these look a little nicer. So I'll take a look at that. But that is, let's close it out right. That is White Dog Games by Iron and Blood, the Battle of Koniggratz, July 3rd, 1866, the final decisive battle of the Austro-Prussian War. Okay, largest land engagement fought between European nations until the First World War. That's a big one. 450,000 men, multiple nationalities. With its destiny of Europe, Prussia or Austria would dominate and unite Germany, and it was, of course, the first von Moltke here, and he was the winner. Yep, the race was on. So by making it variable on the second army, that does introduce playability. That's what they mentioned here. So good stuff, and here's the stuff here. All right, again, thanks for listening. We'll see. I may do one for Mog, but I do know somebody else has already done it, and I think even done a place through is out there, so we'll see. But again, thanks for listening. If you like, click like. Subscribe if you haven't, and otherwise, we'll see you at the next recording. Thanks.